Welcome to Modern Wisdom with Dawn Ricci. I'm Dawn Ricci, a spiritual mentor, healer, psychic, and medium. My podcast is all about empowering you with spiritual insights on health, wellness, relationships, and careers. Join me and my guests as we navigate life's twists and turns, sharing wisdom and expanding knowledge together. Hit subscribe now to stay updated and never miss an episode. Welcome back to Modern Wisdom with Dawn Ricci. Now, before you say yes to another prescription, before you schedule that procedure that you're unsure about, I want you to pause and take a breath and ask your body, what are you trying to say to me? Because the symptoms aren't random, they're signals. You know how I always say they're signals. They're messages. And when we learn to listen instead of silencing them, that's when the true healing begins. So today, my guest, Olya I did it, Piccirillo.
It is right.
My guest today, Olya Piccirillo, knows this firsthand. And at just 24, she was facing this long list of chronic diagnoses and was told her only option was a lifetime of medication. But instead of accepting that path, she became her own investigator. This is why I love her. She became her own investigator. Over 3 decades, Olya explored nutrition, movement, and emotional healing with energy medicine, discovering the body has a profound ability to heal when we address the root causes. And today, she's the founder of Bioenergetic in New York City, where she blends Western science, Eastern wisdom, and bioenergetic technology to help clients not just manage systems, but resolve them. So from anyone who's been told they'd never live pain-free again, to others avoiding surgery once thought inevitable, her work shows what becomes possible when the body is finally heard. So in our conversation, Olya shares how unprocessed emotions can create illness and why genetics aren't our destiny. What it really means is to heal from the inside out. So if you've ever felt like you're doing everything right, but still not getting better, this episode is going to hold that missing piece of the puzzle. Here's my conversation with the inspiring Olya Piccirillo.
Oh my God, Dawn, what a beautiful introduction.
Oh my gosh. I've practiced that name 1,000 times. I'll tell you, it's a beautiful name. Will you please say it beautiful for me again?
Olya Piccirillo.
Piccirillo. It's the R-I-L, Piccirillo. Okay. Anyway, Olya, thank you so much for coming here today and sitting with us. You know, you have helped so many women shift their lives. How do you personally discover the connection between attitude, energy, and health?
Yeah. So we all have personal journey, as you do, from being an investigator and now doing your spiritual, your healing, your intuitive work. So I had my own healing journey, and it started actually when I was little, and I didn't even realize what was wrong with me. Just I was an unhappy child. I had a lot of things going on in my life. Like many children would fall asleep listening to bad night stories and having some maybe hot chocolate. And I would be waking up at night in the middle of the night to the broken glass, my parents screaming, my father holding a knife and threatening everyone if he doesn't get more alcohol. And he already had some alcohol. And the interesting thing, as I remember, I was not afraid. I was just pulling the blanket over my head, and all I wanted to do, go to sleep, not to feel anything. And at this moment, I didn't realize that became my coping mechanism. And it served me well because I didn't feel much pain or fear, but what it did, it stole my childhood.
And it festered. The energy streams of that emotions just got buried within your
and it affected
your
my early
cells.
adulthood. And with that, it created so many health issues, which I only realized the connection between the two, your health, your wellness, and your emotions. much later in life that I was always sick and I could not understand why was I so broken? What was wrong with me? And in my 20s, like in my teens, I was constantly in a hospital with gallbladder issues,
Oh, wow.
digestive issues. I had appendix removed, chronic migraines. In my early 20s, I had endometriosis, depression, fluctuation in weight, like pain. And the doctors, the only thing, as you said, they wanted to give me medications.
Yeah.
And in my 20s, I was not ready to go on this medicated path till the rest of my life. So that's where I started looking for answers. And of course, I've done a lot of things. I changed my diet, I started eating better, I started exercising, my lifestyle changed. However, I didn't understand that there was something else that I needed to work on.
Yeah.
And because I was feeling better, not 100%, but I was feeling so much better. And then a tragedy happened in my life, which I lost my husband to cancer. And suddenly all the issues that I was dealing with, physical issues, came back to the surface. I was
Oh,
still eating well. I was still exercising, but I was back to where I started. And I knew that
wow.
was not about what I'm doing with my body anymore. Something else was there that is not, like bringing all these issues to the surface. And
Wow.
then I started discovering how much your nervous system has to do with how you feel physically, how you feel emotionally. And if we
Yeah.
stuck in that fight or flight, or maybe we get stuck again in the future with another trauma, so those issues, they never go away. They could be coming back and I will be dealing with them forever. But healing started working on my nervous system, on my traumas, which were abandonment from the childhood, which repeated with the loss of my husband.
Yeah. Yeah. It
So
must have just coming back. It
yes,
just triggered your cells. It triggered your cells
everything,
to,
whatever emotions were
yeah,
stored,
it was
everything
right there.
came to the surface. So then I realized that you can actually heal on a totally different level when you go deeper, not
Mhm.
just on the surface. Like, yes, the diet is amazing and it's great and it's important, exercising your lifestyle. But if you're still dealing with some old traumas, even sometimes in maybe in your subconscious level, you still maybe dealing with a lot of issues in your life because trauma gets stuck in, like you said, in your cells, in your tissues,
Yeah.
in your organs, and it's going to manifest itself with illness the way
Good.
it did with me.
And we all have traumas. Every single person. The reason why we're on this planet is to learn lessons. I don't care what anyone says, this is why we're here, to learn lessons, to feel things, to make interactions, to, not to get up every day and grind and just make money, go to work, show up, and not be and be unhappy. This is why we're here, so we can learn how to live life in a better level. And if we understand all the things that might have happened to us when we were a young kid, pulling the covers over our head, right? And not feeling the pain of what was happening in your household, just like there's millions of other people
Yeah.
that have that same scenario when they were growing up. If we don't take care of that, if we don't reveal that and understand that, then there's no way of getting up into the next level. And that's what the goal is right now. That's what healing is, truly, is getting up into the next level. Our world is going so fast. We are flying a million miles an hour. I mean, it's just incredible. I barely can keep up. So many other people can't keep up, but we need to be able to be healthy and understand what part of us is holding us back. And once you understand that, the only way for you is to go up,
Yeah,
you
correct.
know? So it's almost like, so when I teach in the manifestation, or I show people about what true manifestation is, it's not about, wishful freaking thinking. Everyone thinks, write in a journal and do a couple affirmations and, hop on one foot and say a prayer. It's not like that. It's our energy. And if you treat like our energy like you treat everyone thinks about money, right? Treat it like a currency, you would be very, very careful with it. You wouldn't throw it away. You wouldn't give it away, right? You would want to keep it and you'd want to like hold on to it and have it do something really good for you. So that's how I perceive the healing process, is that if we treated our energy like a currency, because it's all about what we attract for, and it's all about what we push away. It really is. It's like what I push away, not you don't want to face. That's really damage. It's what we attract too. Like I just got off the phone with somebody, a client, and she was saying to me, her husband manifested a tick bite. I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, she goes, he was talking for 2 weeks about how, there's ticks in the yard and you got to spray for the ticks and you got to watch the kids for the ticks and don't let the ticks on the dog and that. And she said, here we are 2 weeks later and he got a tick bite. I said, he manifested that. She goes, yeah, I told him he manifested it. And he
Yes.
certainly did. He brought the ticks into the yard. Crazy. When you say, our attitude can impact our health, what does that mean for both of us? Like for both the physical and the emotional, like when you say really on the cellular level,
Yeah.
yes, you pulling the covers over your head and now it came out when your husband passed away. But what does that really means to people who really don't understand what natural healing, what really we have to do to heal ourselves?
So just imagine that you're walking uphill with a heavy backpack through your life. And that's exactly what is happening. We all do. We all have emotional baggage, all those rocks. Maybe it's an abandonment, maybe it's grief, maybe it's anger that we carry, and they accumulate because we have more experiences as we walking through life. And it becomes so heavy, it's also impacting our walk through life, our behavior, how we're reacting to a different situation. And it also creates some repetitive actions that we're repeating in life without realizing that. And, 2/3 of people experience at least one trauma in their life. That's what
Mhm.
statistics shows. And if people experience more than one, some adverse childhood experience, they're more likely to have physical issues, chronic conditions, obesity. And I see health and emotions are so deeply related. Health, weight, and trauma are so interconnected. And people don't realize when they're trying to lose weight, when they're trying to deal with chronic pain, it's not about, as you said, taking a pill or a
Yeah.
specific diet, because it may work for some. And other women just stuck in this cycle, this vicious cycle, that temporary success and setback and going right to the level zero where they began. And it creates certain stories, our behaviors, how we react. For me, it was, even when I came to America, it was, okay, I have a story. I came from dysfunctional childhood. I, lost my father, who later died in an accident because he was drunk. I lost my husband. I was a single mother. I was really struggling financially. I'm probably technologically challenged. I will never succeed, even though I am an educated person and I, consider myself smart. I
Yes.
couldn't do anything with that because I was stuck in my stories. I was living my
Yes.
stories, and it was
Yes.
shaping all my actions that I would take in life. And only when I understood my stories, and that's why I always say your healing starts with awareness. Then
Yes.
it can change your life. Then you can change your actions,
Yes.
and you can become that better person or better version of yourself.
Yes.
It can change your future. That's where it all starts. And that's when my true healing began, when I became aware what was holding me back.
Yeah. So that's it. It's really funny, like I keep saying that, what I'm really doing is I'm really healing. Like when I do the manifestation intuition, the 5MQ, it's the 5MQ system, and it's manifestation quotient. It's really manifestation and intuition. But what I'm really doing, it's about the belief of reshaping outcomes.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you have traumas and you have things when you grow up with and baggage, right? That baggage, and you constantly saying, oh, I can't do it because of this. I can't do it because I grew up like
Mm-hmm.
that. I can't do it because I had no money. I can't do it. And when you start reshaping it, it's going to work better for you. It will start happening for you. So what I do tell people is stop looking, being so tunnel vision about what your problem is.
Mm-hmm.
Let's expand our vision to the peripheral and go this way. See what else we can capture along the way. That's going to be a sign for you to reshape your outcome. And so, most definitely, the inner dialogue that we teach ourselves, that literally sticks to the body's response. I'm going to use my dad for example. I grew up in a very dysfunctional household. There was a lot of mental illness. Um, but my dad, he was my rock. And my dad held so much stress and so much shame. It's funny, Spirit just said shame, but he held so much shame because he was uneducated. And his family wouldn't let him work anymore because he had to go, wouldn't let him go to school anymore because he had to go to work so he could help, with the family and the expenses. And so he ultimately became a plumber. And even though he became a plumber and a master plumber at that, and then became very, very successful. I mean, he literally, back in the day, did all the plumbing in the Fenway Park for like 40 years, you know, and in Boston. And, but yet my dad had no education. He went to plumbing school, you know, and that stuck with him. That man had 4 bouts of cancer. Like from he was 40 years old, 60 years old, 80 years old, 90 years old. It finally got him at 90. But he
Wow.
fought like a son of a gun. And he was always trying to be very positive, but he never ever could really shake what was really happening with inside of him. And if you don't, and the reason why I'm saying this story, because you literally have to shift your body's responses, because that is how disease, dis-ease takes
Mhm.
hold in the body, period.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Well, and
crazy.
yeah, well, your story is like definitely, it's like there is a connection. Like you're saying, shame probably angered yourself that you could make different choices in life, disappointment. So it's even like
Yeah.
all this layering of different emotions.
Yeah.
And from my approach, bioenergetics, which means mind body connection, even some of the ancestral influences, and they live in your body and they actually block the energy flow, and that's why the disease happens.
Yeah.
So, and by understanding that and working on that, so you can heal pretty much anything.
Yeah, anything. And it's like because everyone thinks disease, oh, it just happens. No, it doesn't. It doesn't work like that. I mean, energy is in every aspect of our world. Every single itty bitty thing that is in our planet, everything you touch, your computer, your desk, everything is built off energy.
Was, yeah.
So if we understand how unconsciously you can create energy to create a physical symptom,
Mm-hmm.
you
And
know
also believing in that symptom, because once you hear, you go to a doctor and the doctor looks at your blood work and says, oh, you have Epstein-Barr chronic fatigue syndrome, or you have MS or lupus. And right away, people don't even question, I have it. They take the ownership of the disease. And I always say, even when they come to my office or talk to me, I have this, I said, I don't want to hear it. You may have symptoms that indicate like the doctor said that you may have it, but you may not have it. I
Yeah.
was giving so many diagnoses every time I do blood work. Oh, this, you need to take thyroid medication, or you have this IBS, or you have endometriosis, or you have this chronic fatigue, which many times was told, but I was told the same thing. And I'm like, no, I don't. I'm not going to accept this diagnosis. I'm going to find a way, like, what is triggering in my body? So my body is responding in some way that my blood work shows, the indications of some of the symptoms. And I see it with people, they dealing with very bad family situations. Suddenly they come to me and saying, I think I have hepatitis C. My doctor just showed to me in my blood work. I'm like, you don't? Well, like, what makes you so sure? I said, I have been working with you for 5 years. And I know that you're not a smoker, you're not a drinker, you living by yourself, you eating very well, you didn't have a blood transfusion. There is no way for you to contract it. So she said, so what does it mean? My doctor said I might have a liver cancer, I may die, I need to go on medications. I said, what you need to do to calm down, work on what trigger something in you that when you did your blood work, this came up. Like, what was going on? Oh, I just visited my mother in Brazil, and like we fought every single day. I was so angry at her. Exactly. And then I said, just let's support your liver for about 2 months. Let's work on the emotional stuff that came up with your mother and go and redo your blood work. And she couldn't wait 2 months. She did in 1 month and it came back negative. And she asked her doctor, said, what, how come it was positive a month ago? Now it doesn't show a hepatitis C. And the doctor shrugged her shoulders and said,
Yeah.
maybe just an outlier, maybe it
Yeah.
was like something wrong. But I see this all the time.
Yeah, they just want to keep testing. That's all
Yeah.
they got. You got to test to test to test. That's it. Drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, if you haven't already done so, check out my website at dawnricci.com, where you can book your appointment with me. If you need expert guidance in finding your own spirituality, or maybe thinking about getting back on track with health and well-being, then let's get to it with customized mentoring programs for your personal development. You can find all the information you need at dawnricci.com. Now let's get back to the show. I want to just change gears for a little bit. I want to talk about obesity.
Yes.
So how does obesity really factor in on our healing? And I mean, obviously there's diseases that are pertain to obesity, but now, we have this wonder drug. We have all these wonder drugs, that everyone's walking around now like drawn. Everyone's like super skinny now, right? How does that affect, like, what is your take on that? On the all the semaglutides and Ozempics and stuff?
Yeah. So actually, are we talking about obesity and like people who take all those drugs and getting skinnier?
Yeah. I mean, because some people are just meant to be big people or big size, and some people are obese because they overeat because they have a disease of overeating.
Yeah.
But taking the
There
drugs
is more
is
to
only
that. Yeah,
it's a short-term cure. And the
exactly.
minute you
And I've
go
seen
off,
a lot of clients who have taken the drug and it worked for some time, but then I see them coming back to me because now they may not have obesity, but they lost the gallbladder because of the drug, of the Ozempic that they took. They have issues, big issues with their gut. Now they have pancreatitis. So that pill is not as safe. We don't have any studies yet. It's so new and everybody's jumping on it because they want to have results quickly.
yeah.
But those drugs can cause a lot of issues in the future. But a lot of people don't realize what's holding them from losing their weight. Yes, sometimes they overeat, but what is overeating? It's a repeated behavior. And are you really addressing your hunger, or you are addressing something emotional that you need to constantly eat sweets or something very rich to get that comfort, to soothe yourself?
Oh,
This is how
I give.
so this is how you start understanding, is it emotional trigger, or this is something with you, oh, I cannot stop eating? No, you can, because you're not addressing your hunger. In many cases, that repetitive behavior or sabotaging, even if you are trying to lose weight and suddenly you just sabotage it and like, okay, like I need to eat something, because you realize that repeated pattern of failure, it's going back into earlier life, not feeling good about yourself. Maybe when you were, like what I see with clients, maybe when you were young and your parent made a comment, oh, are you eating too much? If you're eating like this, nobody's going to date you. No, like you're not going to be attractive enough. You're not going
Oh
to
my God.
succeed in your career. I hear it all the time. In my household, my mother always told me that you have a big appetite for a little girl. Yeah.
Oh my God, my mother used to say the same thing. She put me on a diet way too
Yeah.
young.
And then it's like all those things stay in our mind.
I was
Like
chubby.
all those comments, yeah. I was very skinny until I started gaining weight in my teens and my 20s, and it started becoming a problem.
Oh,
Only
no,
real
I was chubby as a little kid because she put me on a diet. I was too, I
yeah.
was too
But
young.
all those things create things like I'm not worthy just the way I am. I'm not good enough. I'm not beautiful.
Yeah.
And those things sometimes when you understand, your weight responds much quicker. Like my client Monica, who was on the same exactly diet with your husband. They were actually doing Weight Watchers, something like really commercial diet. But he was losing weight every single week. She could not lose 1 pound.
Oh my
So,
God, she must have been pissed.
yeah, she comes to me, she's saying, like, what's wrong? Like, is it something with my hormones? Is it something like this?
Yeah.
And we're doing a scan and our evaluation and work. And it goes back into her childhood. We start talking about her father, her absent father in her childhood. And she starts crying. And then these things come up in the scan that her relationship with her father, how she feels about herself, her body. All we did, just talking,
Yeah.
layers, 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 like going
Yeah.
deeper and deeper. She left, come back in 1 month, and she said, Olya, I can't believe it. Whatever happened during this session, it's like started shifting. I lost 10 pounds in that 1 month without doing anything different.
Oh,
Do you
see?
see how much it can be connected to like your,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
Oh,
You
I'm
know,
not good enough. It doesn't bother me. Yes, it does bother you. You just, like me, you're numbing your feelings. You don't want to feel it.
well, everything is attracting, you can either attract healing or you can attract the struggle.
Yeah,
Period.
that's
And
true.
it's the
That's
same thing with
true.
intuition. Like it shows us where we're blocked and how, and how the bioenergetics clear energy patterns. And so your clients can actually magnetize the wellness rather than more of the same cycles. And the other thing I wanted to add was, so for me, like, I'm not an overeater anymore because my husband, all he wants to do is go out to dinner and have wine. And I just like, I can't, like, I'm not having the appetizer. I'm not like, you want to just go to eat dinner. That's it. And, but I did catch myself and I've really corrected myself now when I have an extremely stressful day, if it's like all over the place and my day is just going south and I'm like, I can't deal with this. When I get nervous, I get up from my desk and I go we have an office, in my office here, I have like a full kitchen practically.
Yeah.
And I go into the kitchen and I'm looking in the cupboards, what can I snack on? And I catch myself every single time. I'm like, forget it. I'm not doing that. You have to catch yourself because that's just a
Yeah.
cycle.
But
I
no,
put
but what
myself in
does
a
it
pattern.
remind you? Well, let me take you back. What does it remind you? Do you remember probably when you were a kid
Yeah.
and you go to a doctor's office and they have to give you a shot or like
Yeah.
tooth or something, or like your
Yeah.
tonsils, and what they give you ice cream, lollipop, or something
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
tooth?
Yeah.
So now your body learned that when you stress, when you need some kind of soothing, when you need something to cope with your stress at the better level, what do? You
You
are
eat,
going to grab for like a chip or potato or a cookie or something that is going to give you that emotional comfort.
right? Well, like I was saying, in Italian, okay, we eat when we're happy, we eat when we're sad, we eat when we want family around, we eat on holidays. We that's all we do. Everything has to do with the comfort of eating. So it's a huge one.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
huge one.
yeah.
Um, so getting back to your client that, she said she was feeling stuck and she felt drained and she felt unwell. So you said is really the first thing to help them is really changing that energy and mindset. Do you have like any like little tips and tricks to help you with
Yes.
that?
Oh, absolutely. As I said, everything starts with awareness. So
Uh-huh.
when you feel you're repeating certain patterns, and I see it often when people stuck in toxic relationship,
Uh-huh.
mentally they understand, emotionally they understand it's wrong, but they cannot break the cycle. Or you are in your career underpaid and undervalued, but you don't ask for raise, you don't, ask for promotion. It's all related to how you feel about yourself.
Yeah,
So
rocking the boat.
if you're eating like, or you having even pain, like when we started this conversation, connect with your body. Ask yourself a question. What is my body trying to tell me? Where do I feel something? And go back maybe a week, 2 weeks, and see what was happening in your life. This is how I start my conversation. Like, oh, my blood pressure went up. And I said, okay, forget about your blood pressure for now. What happened in the last week or two? I'm like, what do you mean? Nothing. Well, let's talk about this. Were there any conversation, something triggered? Maybe, oh, yes, I had this, like my boss yelled at me and we had this, or something like this, or I had a fight with my husband. Go back to there. How did it make you feel? So
Right.
how did you feel angry? Did you had a conversation? Talk about this. Like, honey, what you said really upset me. Just get it out of your chest. Connect with your body. Always say, put one hand in your heart, other in your belly, and get
Yes.
out of your head. We are here in our head, like this mental chatter, because
Mhm.
everything that happened to us, we're still processing. And I always say, get out of your head. Open
Right.
that crown chakra.
Yeah.
And I say it, that's your pressure cooker. Get
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
out and get back into your heart, get back into your belly, to yourself, get back home, and just say, you know what, you are safe. Just
I
giving
love,
that message to your brain, it's so powerful because you're
yeah.
changing the chemistry, how your body is perceiving stress. I am safe, I am grounded, I am protected, I am so much loved. So that's one, like simple, that you can do. The second, I would say, my favorite, essential oils. Use lavender, and those things, I can change the energy of the person, either tired, fatigued, drained,
Mm.
stressed, angry, within one session, 1 hour completely. And sometimes even working on the physical pain, in 1 hour we can get pain down and feeling better emotionally, physically. And I use a lot of different techniques and meditations and mantras, essential oils. Essential oils, they go like, very quickly from blood-brain barrier, like they just cross it and go right into your brain. So my favorite thing that I use, I put a drop of lavender, drop of peppermint, and drop
Mm.
of orange essential oils.
Oh,
And
nice.
the reason I do those three, and my clients call it, this is Olya's special blend, signature blend. And you rub in your hands, you put it over your face, you close your eyes, and you just take a few gentle breaths, smelling the oils. Slow breath, smelling the oils, 1-2 minutes, totally shifts your like mindset, like how you're feeling about the situation.
Yeah.
Also, lavender relaxes you, peppermint energizes you, so you don't like relax to the point of falling asleep, and orange shifts your energy. So
That's a simple, those are
simple things
simple things
that we
that
can have
just
at
moving
home
you.
and do it anytime.
Yeah. And you're just moving towards the natural healing.
Exactly. But awareness,
I have to remember
what's
that. So it
really
was
happening?
orange. So it was
Orange, peppermint, and lavender.
orange, peppermint,
And
and lavender.
actually, they smell combined. Like some people say, I don't like lavender. Some people say, like, I don't like peppermint. Combination is divine. It's
Really?
really an amazing smell. I use it with my kids when they were growing up to go for the test, keeps them alert and focused. I do it myself when I'm doing presentations, when I'm stages, to keep me relaxed, but also laser focused, and my energy is much more like calmer.
Well, it's also clears your energy. It just
Clears
clears
my
your
energy.
energy from the
Clears my
drive there,
energy.
from getting
Yes,
there, from getting set
right.
up and
Yeah, so
everything
essential
else.
oil, and of course breathing, slow down
Yeah,
breathing, pay attention how you're breathing, or maybe you're holding your breath when you
yeah,
stress. So simple things, and there is so many
yeah.
ways of how we can heal without doing anything expensive or different.
Yeah, the shift is real. I mean, it's just there's so many people that are coming aware of really natural healing. One, it's becoming it's really a 50%, but we still see people that just, I deal with clients every day. They're just like, I'm like, listen, just give me a shot. Like, just give me a shot. Let me tell you how you can just make simple changes in your life to get you started. Then I can put you on the next rung and get you up the ladder that you want to be at. I actually do have a client right now, and he's like a little bit of a hard nut to crack. So I see him on Friday, and I'm gonna tell him about the essential oils. I don't know if he'll do it, but I'm gonna tell him. I thought, I don't use essential oils that much. Like I just don't. I don't know why. I mean, I
They're
have my
amazing.
sprays, I have my
Yeah.
sage sprays, and I have my, blue lotus spray. I love that. Um, but yeah, I have to really, I'm gonna do
No,
that.
the essential oils, once you get into a habit, and I'm like, they're not expensive. You can order them. Just make sure they're organic or they food grade, because
Yeah.
I think you put on your skin, you don't want any chemicals or artificial fragrances go into your body. So, either organic or food grade quality oils. But once you start using, what they do to you, they can help you with physical pain, like migraines or back pain, neck pain, relax your muscles, help you sleep. So, and sometimes I just go to my oils. I maybe have like 25, 30 different oils, and see what draws me to,
Yeah.
and just use it. Even smell it.
Yeah. I mean, you must love like seeing the before and afters.
Oh,
Like, when
absolutely.
someone comes in, they're like, really like it's like the last ditch effort. They've tried everything else. And then here they come and all right, I'm going for the hocus pocus. And then when they leave, they must be like, wow.
Yeah, well, some some clients actually call me a Russian witch.
Uh, They say which
It's
like
not
a
a
bad
Russian
thing.
witch. Every time I talk to you or I see you, we do our work, and suddenly something happens, and I feel better.
See, yeah, I always say that too. People say, well, you're like a witch. I'm like, well, you say witch like a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. I
Yeah,
would like a
yeah.
good
You,
one.
you could have a good witch,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I mean, yeah,
right?
it's a bad
I
witch and
know.
good witch.
I know. Once I will we'll be wrapping up in just a few minutes, and I do want you to tell us. You have a fabulous offer for the listeners. Um, just really one other point I really wanted to make. I think was that, when you really how you identify those patterns, you know, and you help people to shift into that empowering mindset, you know, they really do have attracting better outcomes. So do you ever find that they'll come back to you and say, look, I realized my problem was XYZ and I corrected it. And, I've changed my direction like tenfold, like,
Mhm.
all the way.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And I have
Yeah.
people who are with me for like 15 years, and they come back because life happens. It's not
Yeah.
like you heal your past, everything is fine in the future.
Right.
No, new
So
events
it's
happen, new
ongoing. I
things.
mean,
Yes.
it's an ongoing process.
It's
Like our
yeah.
unfolding in life in general
But when
is
people
ongoing process.
heal, yeah, but when they heal, they're saying it
Yeah.
changed their lives. And I
Yeah.
had people that opted out from gallbladder removal and going back to the same doctor, and the doctor said there is no need anymore, or keeping their reproductive organs. no hysterectomy anymore. I had somebody who was told by the Sloan cancering, that whatever condition that person had, damaged nerves, it's going to get only worse, and he's going to lose his tongue, and all the nerves, facial nerves, going to be impacted. I never worked with anybody with this condition. And to me, it's not the symptoms. I'm working with the whole body,
Right.
awareness and doing other modalities that I do. Within 2 weeks, his speech changed, how he was speaking. He was able to whistle again, because after cancer, he couldn't even hold his tongue to whistle.
Oh,
That
wow.
just shows how much power can alternative healing have when we
Yeah.
open our mind and know we do have choices, we do have options.
We have options.
Peel at the office or surgery is not your only option.
No,
Sadly,
it's not.
that's what you're told, but that's not your only option. You have many different options, and if you open your mind, you can heal pretty much anything.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, thank you. This was so fabulous. Please share. You have an offer for our listeners. Tell us about that and give us your website.
Yes. So my website is Biomatrix, which is bio-matrix, matrix.net. But in the easier way, where you can see everything, my website, make an appointment with me, which is Olya, like my first name, OLYA, 360.com. And
Very
it
good.
opens to everything. My gift, as I said, everything starts with awareness. So I have an emotional detox checklist. And when you get this and you do your own assessment, you'll realize where you may be stuck in your relationship, in your life, in your career, in your health, in your weight, and what are the patterns that you may not be aware. Are you repeating every single day, or maybe like you're repeating all the time?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
after that, whatever you score, there will be a link. You can reach out and schedule a call with me, and I can, it's a complimentary call where I can help to get clarity, how you can move forward and how you can finally start healing. Because there is no need to carry those backpack with rocks anymore.
Yeah.
Let's
Backpack with
lighten up
rocks. Oh
our
my gosh.
life.
Yeah, that's awful. Oh my gosh. Olya, thank you so much for really coming in. It was so nice to see you again, and such great information. Really, everybody take advantage of her free gift. And it'll everything about to find Olya, to follow her on socials and everything is going to be on the show notes. So check her out. And that's a wrap for today. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you so much, Dawn. It was a pleasure speaking to you and your audience.
Hey there. So before we head over to the next episode, I wanted to let you know about my show named Beach Bench Medium, and it's on my YouTube channel. As I passed by beach benches that line the boardwalk, I felt the nudge from Spirit to bring family members to their bench and give them a reading. If you have a bench dedicated to someone you lost, then get in touch with me at hello@dawnricci.com. I would love for you to be on the show. Thanks for listening.